So welcome to Utilizing PD Playlist and Transfer Credit Manager in NCEES. I did put the link to our slides in the chat if you want to look there for those. It's this bit.ly right here, the bit.ly/UPDPL-TCM, all lowercase. We are using WebEx, and this is our housekeeping rules for the day. If you'd like to ask a question, just unmute or use the chat feature to enter your questions. If you have private questions, there is a Q&A under the three dots where you could ask a private question, but most people just put their questions in the chat. And then if there's any audio issues, I know folks that might be having audio issues. If I'm circling right here, this is where you just need to go and try switching your audio out. If you'd like to see closed captions, those will be on your menu bar with the little circle in the closed caption icon. I am Cami Nairn. I work for NCDPI in the Digital Teaching and Learning Division for the home-based team, and I manage the NCEES product. Joining me today is my colleague, our NCEES coordinator, Jennifer Bass. I'll let her say hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Everybody. Hi.
Hello. This is Audrey. And I'm glad to be here assisting with Cami.
Thank you, Audrey. Audrey is going to help us with our questions, and then we also have Miss Jennifer.
Hi, everybody. I'm Jennifer Bass, and as Cami said, we work together as a team with NCEES. So if you have any questions concerning NCEES at any point, just give one of us a call, and we can always try and help you out and work together to get you an answer.
Yes, we're always happy to do that. Thank you, Audrey and Jennifer. It looks like a short agenda today. We are going to go review PD Playlist in NCEES and the Transfer Credit Manager in NCEES and talk about both of those extra features that are available in the professional learning component of NCEES, and then give you a few resources at the end of the slide presentation. So we'll just jump right into PD Playlist. I usually like to go through a few slides, and then we'll look on the live site and walk you through how to do this. So Janelle, can I ask you to introduce yourself since you're here with us?
Yep. So I'm Janelle Bishop. I'm the Director of Professional Learning for Johnston County Schools.
Okay, great. That's where I'm from, Johnston County Schools. Yep, I was a data manager there at Corinth Holder High School before I came to DPI. So welcome. So PD Playlist, I usually set the first role in there, and it's called a moderator, and we'll go through the roles in just a minute. Moderators do not have to be connected to the NCEES PD office. If you've been in NCEES for a while, you know we have two components in NCEES, the evaluation component where the PDP plans are and the evaluation plans are, and then we have a professional learning component, and districts that opt into home base can have their own PD office in the professional learning component where you can add your own PD opportunities. DPI does put out plenty of courses as well, but this is also a way where a local district could have a PD office in NCEES to record credits to a transcript in NCEES for staff. Excuse me just a minute. Sorry about that. This is just, I like to give you an overall look about what the PD Playlist is. Here you're going to see all the ECATS courses that are out there that a lot of districts require their staff to take. So here this person has created an ECATS playlist. And then you can see anything with a red asterisk are required courses for their staff to take. You can also set electives, and we'll look at that shortly. So each one of these, your names of your staff that you added to the list or that you've put out there and published and asked them to sign up for, they would be listed here when they started the playlist. And then they would just go through and complete the courses, and whoever the moderator would come in here and look at the dashboard and see what kind of progress they're making. Is it completed? It'll have a green check. Is it not started? It will have a gray dash. This group decided to award extra certificate for completing the playlist, but as long as they complete this course, that certificate will be awarded on their transcript in NCEES. This certificate over here can be considered that you want to award as an extra award for completing the whole playlist. Apparently this one, they went back and later and added another course, because you can see here there's a course that doesn't have a green dot, but they have a completion certificate. So apparently they've added another course after this person completed the playlist. Here is just a couple of playlists that I found that districts were creating. So I don't know who you want to create playlists for. They can be for beginning teachers, residency lateral entry teachers, anybody that's on the mentor training pathway, all kinds of different playlists that you can create. So the course does have to be in NCEES. It can be a DPI course. These are DPI courses here. Or it can also be courses that you created for your district can be added to a playlist as long as they are available in NCEES. Here's just a look at putting courses onto a playlist, and just to show you that you can have courses be required. So these dark blue ones are set to be required in this playlist. And then we've added several elective courses. And then we set a rule that you must complete the 2 required courses and 2 of the 4 electives to be able to show completed for the playlist. So you can set rules on your playlist. All right, any questions before we get into the roles on a playlist? So the PD playlist roles. The very first one is the PD playlist moderator. This person is responsible for creating and managing those PD playlists. This role I must set. So you can either open a ticket, have your administrator contact me. A ticket is best because then it kind of shows who requested it, and just to make sure we have that approval process in place. So this person can add courses, they can add participants, they can manage any course notifications, and there is actually a discussion feature in here. If the district wants to use that, they would be the one to moderate that discussion feature. All right. The next role is the PD playlist curator. This person can see a created PD playlist that the moderator created. The moderator would add the curator, and that curator would then help the moderator with assigning people to the playlist. They can remove people from the playlist or assign people to the playlist, but they cannot adjust the courses on the playlist. And then finally, there's another role out here that I don't know if anybody in North Carolina has ever used. It's the PD playlist credit approver. I need to set those, and I have not set any of those roles. This is actually an optional approval process for if you want to add extra credit for completing the playlist. So do you want to let them get their credits for each course, and then on top of that, when they complete the playlist, should they earn extra credits, CEUs amounts? Most districts are not doing that. They're just earning the credits for the courses as they complete the courses. Any questions about that? And finally, there's the PD playlist participant. This is going to be your learners, the person that is going to go participate in the playlist and complete the courses. They can view their courses, they can participate in the discussions if you set that up, and optionally you can have them add other people to participate in the course lists. So here is the PD playlist creation guide. All right, and this is linked in here. I do need to update like the logos on here, but this guide is still good to use. And let me see. Yep. I'll put that in the chat. All right, and it just kind of walks through everything that I just read so far, and we will go to the live site and do these steps. I do apologize. I do like to have training accounts for you guys when you come to this kind of webinar, but PowerSchool has still yet to fix my training site. So as soon as those are available, I will email you all back the training site. So if you want to go play in a site that's other than your own, you can do that. All right, so we will go look at the PD playlist dashboard. Let me come over here. All right, so now I am in NCEES. Let me refresh this page. My little navigations are not showing up. There we go. If you ever lose your navigations, I don't know if you saw this was all empty space a while ago. They're either going to be under here, or sometimes you can just refresh the page like I just did, and they'll pop back up here. They go away sometimes when we zoom in to see things, but they will come back. So to get to the PD playlist, it's right here, PD playlist. And over here, you're going to see the different containers that you're going to work with. Most districts will not see this container on the right, the credit approval. Remember, this is that extra credit that you put on top of the playlist, completing a playlist. So we're going to kind of skip over that one. Right here is any active playlist. You can show all your PD playlists, any that are in progress and any that are completed. I don't know that I have any because I usually just train these, but you can see that you can switch between those. And here I have a current playlist right here that we have 18 participants on and 7 courses in it. And we could see that it's in progress. We could click into it to open the playlist. And we're going to show you how to create it in just a minute, but I just want to show you one that was filled in. So it has titles, it has start dates and end dates here, and a description. And then here are the courses that we added in here just for training purposes. And you can see that we've set some as elective, some as required, some are not started, and some are in progress. And then here's links to the actual courses that we've added to the list. And then we've got our participants tab. So these are people that were added as participants, but you can see right here. And here's the discussion tab. I don't believe I've not enabled any discussions, but you can add topics out here to add to your playlist. So we're going to come back to the PD playlist. So that's where you would manage any current playlists over here, and we'll look over here in just a minute. And then here's PD playlist activities. So if you do have people completing playlists, it's going to show you the activities that are being completed in that container. Over here on the left is also a managed PD playlist. Now I see everybody statewide. You should just see your folks if you're seeing everybody statewide, and you may, because some of the PD components do show statewide. You can always add filters to go down and find yourself if you're the moderator here. So I'll just do Miss Brown. Oh, and that's probably looking for her name. No, I know I saw her down there. Let's try that again. Oh, she was a curator. All right, so we're going to look for the curators. See if it finds just Brown. Yep. All right, so then you can find the ones that you're working on. All right, and notice whenever I set a filter and entered what I was looking for, then I always had to click update table to update the list down here. You can always exit out and click update table, and you're back to the beginning. On here, you'll see the names of your playlists. You can see if you hover over these, if they have a little line under them, you can sort A to Z or Z to A by those. If they don't have a line, you can't sort that column, but you can use your filters. If it's released, that means it's published for people to participate in. So like this one is not released here. And then participants, it tells you how many participants are in that playlist and what date did it start. So if you're looking for current dates, then just click on that a couple times and you'll get the newer ones. All right, and then all the PD playlist participants, I see everybody statewide, and you can see who the participants are in your district and how many playlists they're participating in. Most of these are just participating right now in one playlist. All right, so we're going to get ready to create a PD playlist if we don't have any questions about this dashboard page. Good. All right. So when I clicked on create a PD playlist, it pops up this little box window right here, and we just put in a title of your playlist. Let's do courses and click create. All right, now there are several tabs up here. At the very end, you must remember to release your playlist when you're ready for people to start participating in it. There is this little question mark over here that reminds you the playlist cannot be viewed by the participants until you release it. All right, the first tab is your details tab. Anything that's required will have one of those little asterisks that we're used to in NCEES. So it must have a title. Notice it really doesn't require a description, but you can put a description in there. And it does have a way, if you wanted to make this all pretty, you can bold it, italicize it, change the font to different colors, include images, put in a table. If you wanted to make this really creatively eye-catching, you could do that. So notice that that's there for your description. And then start date and end date. So maybe this is a playlist that will run all year, but we're starting in October, and it will go maybe to the end of June next year. So let's go through June. Do I want to include this in the course catalog? Do I want to make it searchable? I've noticed most people do not because they are manually adding participants. But if you want to publish this, release it, and then let people go search for it, then yes, you do want to check this box. And then allow participants to start joining on what date? If it starts on the 3rd, do you want them to start joining on the 3rd? Or do you want it to show in the course catalog and have them ask you about it? Then you might want to check this right here. They must be added manually. So I would include notes in the description that if you're looking at this in the catalog and you want to join, email so-and-so, such as that. Here is that extra certificate that you can earn for completing the playlist. Just a reminder that each course still gets the regular usual certificate that comes from completing a course. This is a certificate for the playlist. So if you want to enable that, you can click the enable certificate there. Moderators can add other moderators when they're out here, and that person can help adjust the courses, adjust participants. The moderator can also add curators. And so if you wanted to add a curator, you're just going to have to be somebody in NCEES. So let's try Audrey. And we're going to let Audrey be the curator on here. Now, Audrey can help me add people to the playlist, but she cannot adjust any of the courses that I put on the playlist. If I have any materials I want to attach here, you just click the attach file, go find your materials and attach them. Here is that extra credit for completing the playlist that will show on their transcript. So this is not the credits for each course. This is the credit for completing the playlist that will also show on their transcript. I don't know of many people doing that, but if you did, you could check the box like I just did to open up what credits. Maybe this is DLC credits and they're going to earn, maybe it's 10 hours of courses, so we're going to let them earn 1.0 CEUs. And then it says submit for approval, or you can just save. So this is where you would probably need the credit approver. Now that I did that, it bumped me out. So I'm going to come back to PD playlist and find my playlist. Oh, let's do this. I knew it had B. There it is. So you can just search for it if you don't readily see it in the list. So I do want to go back in there. So I'm going to click on the title. All right. And so we've done all these fields here. So I'm done. I can save it. When I save it, it's probably going to pop me back out again. Let's see. Oh, nope. It just stayed on the page. So we're going to click done. And I went back here. So clicking done takes you back to your dashboard. So it basically doesn't take very long to set up the details for your playlist. The next step over, you can either start adding participants or do courses. Most folks would probably come over here to courses first. And on this courses page, this is where you would check the box if you wanted to allow your participants to add courses to this list. So you would have to think that through. Do you want them to add their own courses to this list that are available? So I'm not going to check that. I'm going to uncheck that. I'm going to come over here to add courses. And so notice here that you can search for courses that you know out there. You can search by course number. You can add filters for course number, or the type. Most of these are going to be default type out here. You see there. So I'm just going to come out here and pick some for the interest of time. Just pick as many as you want for the people that you're creating this list for. There is the search if you want to find those ECATS courses, things like that. So I'm going to check my boxes and I'm going to click add. All right, now that should have, yep, now put little check marks. I'm done. Let's see if that takes me off the page. There we go. And now I've got my courses and now I need to manage these courses. Do I want to leave them all as required? Or I can maybe set a couple of these to be electives. You'll see that little pop-up when everything changes, it's automatically saving things in the background. These green icons mean these are self-paced courses. Purple icons would be instructor-led courses. I can also remove a course if I added an incorrect course here by clicking the X. Now that I've set 2 electives, do I want to set a rule on that elective? Maybe I do want them to complete one of those 2 electives, so I set those down here at the bottom, right there. And it's automatically saving this page. You don't have to click save anywhere on here. All right, let's look at these other tabs before we come back to participants. The discussion tab. This is where you can enable this board or turn it off. You can add topics out here by clicking manage topics here. Oh, that turns it on and off. Let's click that done. There's a general discussion. Well, no. Yeah, I was right. Sorry about that. So I'm going to do that one more time so I don't confuse you. I'm going to click done. So to add a topic, click manage topics and create new topic. Um, so add your topic. And there it is. This right here turns it on and off. And now there's a topic out there that people can contribute to. All right, we're going to click done. And here you have it right here. And people can then add topics. The notifications, these you do want to go ahead and decide if you want to set up. So if you're going to be adding your participants, do you want to send them a message when you add them? Click the box, put in the title. All right, and then put your message in. And then how do you want them to get this message? The targeted announcement will go under this envelope icon. It'll put a little red circle that says you have a message. And so they would see it that way. You could also use email. The email does have to be correct in NCEES. It feeds in from PowerSchool or the HR data. Who do you want the email to show it's from? The PD playlist moderator or just a no reply address? So your choice. And the second email that can go is when participants are completed. And again, you can add a message and determine how you want this set out and who you want it to show from. And then you would just save. Any questions about the emails that go out? Oh, I didn't put a message in here. Let's try that again. And it saved it. All right, so now we're going to come back to participants. So you can hide the participant list. You can allow participants to invite other people. Most of the time I know who I want to invite, so I probably wouldn't be using that much. Do you want to allow people to withdraw from a playlist that you've added them to? That's that third box. All right, here's where I've added that extra credit. It's going to show me that I did do that. And now I want to edit participants. You can set participants manually or dynamically. So dynamically will keep looking every day for whatever criteria that you set. Now look quickly this turns up. You can add people by certain sites. So this is only going to show you your site. So we'll just pick one. I probably should pick Johnston. Let me do tests so I don't show anybody. All right, and then it will add everybody that's in this train site. So that's simple enough. The next area over is demographics. People come into NCEES as administrative or instructional, and we've recently added support. Support are roles that only take PD in NCEES, so this might be good for them. And I'm sorry, it's hard to see here. You can scroll over. There is a scrolly bar at the bottom as well. So you can see the roles. So maybe I'm creating a playlist for my EC folks that are in this group, and I could add them that way. And then if I hire somebody new that comes in that role, this dynamic setting will automatically add them to the playlist. An admin type, probably don't want to use this much, unless you want to just assign this to everybody that is a site administrator in NCEES. User is everybody else that's in NCEES. And then the current staff position, again, this is the instructional, administrative, and support. Role, and you notice you can use multiples of these as well. You might have to play with these, adding everybody that can create a PD playlist or adding everybody This is section instructor. So you just have to go through this whole list and see if there's a way you want to add people dynamically. All right. I don't know why we won't want to include inactive users. The other option under dynamically, well, there we go, is staff groups. So if you created staff groups in NCEES, you can add somebody that's in a staff group. So we have staff groups out here. You just pick your staff group and add them that way. And that way, when you add somebody else to the staff group, because this is the dynamic setting, they would automatically be added. Now, the next way is to add people manually, and that's under add members. You have just adding people individually. And we'll do this. And so it will find the people, make sure you pick the correct one, and then add them, and they show up down here below. You can remove them with the X, or you can just exclude them from this playlist by clicking this bullet. And then you can add people advanced. This is where you're going to need their UID numbers or their emails. So the email address, the employee ID is the UID number. The username is the UID number. We don't use the T&L person ID. So this is where you would add people this way. If I'm using email addresses, and then all right, and then you put them in there. Oops. It's being a little. And do next. And it will tell you if it can't find, so it couldn't find John. So then you could go back to your previous setting, and I typed that incorrect on purpose to show you that, and fix that email or find out why they're not coming up. Oh, didn't find any of us, did it? Oh, I know why. It's because it's looking in North Carolina and we're in training. All right, but that's where you would do when you click done, and that does find the folks, then it will add them to that list. So that's how you add people to your list. Once you're done with that page, you can go back. And you will see this message, and it really does take up to 24 hours to complete a list. If it takes longer than that, please open a support ticket. We'll have PowerSchool check why it might be taking longer. It shouldn't take longer than 24 hours to complete. And then the status is that page that I showed you on the slides earlier. It will list all the courses that were added. Notice that this one, and this one have the red asterisks, so they are required. And then these two are your other courses that are electives. And so once they start them, once your people have names here, they'll get the gray circle. When they start the courses, they'll be in progress. And then as courses complete, they'll get the green check. And then just make sure to release the list when it's ready to release. So I'm not going to release it because this is training and tests. So, all right, any questions about PD playlist, Janelle? And I see John has joined us. Thank you, John, for joining.
Nope, I don't have any questions. Thank you so much.
All right. You're welcome. All right, so that's PD playlist. Let's go back to our slides just a minute. Lost my slides. Oh, here they are. All right, so you have slides out here for most everything that we've reviewed just a minute ago. And if you have questions later, just contact me. I'm glad to hop on a call and walk you through as you're setting up or getting this ready to go. So that was all of the PD playlists. Enabling notifications and releasing that playlist, and then monitoring your dashboard. All right, so the next topic is going to be our transfer credit manager that is in the system. There is a big note at the top of this page when people come out here. Everybody can see it. I cannot hide it from your teachers. Even if you're not using it in your district, they're still going to see it. But there is a note up here that we hope they read to not use this page until you verify your district has a transfer credit manager credit approver. So you must have an approver, or those submitted credit requests kind of just hang out there in limbo. All right, so we're going to look at transfer credit manager. There's a lot of words on here, but to get to transfer credit manager, we're going to go look at how to do that in just a minute. And then there is this guide for transfer credit manager for administrators linked here. And it is for your professional development leads that have NCEES access rights of district administrator or PD office administrator. Oh, sorry, we're changing this because we've been going back and forth with PowerSchool. So there's, and I'll change this slide, but I will explain as we go. To be an approver on transfer credit manager, you must have site administrator access or district administrator access. To manage this page, you can have user level or above. Which is kind of backwards to me. I would think approvers could be anybody, but to be an approver, you do have to have site or district administrator access. So that's here. The roles that are in transfer credit manager, how do you get those? Well, who can get those? So an LEA or charter professional development leads that have certain NCEES access rights as specified below. I do set these roles. So that would be a ticket or contact me that we need to set up these roles for your district for someone. The transfer credit manager administrator can manage requests and manage bulk requests and will need those site or district administrator rights. The transfer, oh, I got that backwards. The transfer credit manager approver needs the district administrator rights. These, please do open a ticket to request those. Is usually the best way that we can track that and make sure the right people are requesting access. There are emails that go out from the activities in the transfer credit manager. When somebody submits a request, if there's an approver set up, the approver will get that email that a request was submitted. The approver then denies or approves that request, and the appropriate email will then go out for either of those actions. And then once the requester, if it's been denied, can then resubmit and is returned to pending credit request, and that will go back to the approver. All right, so let's go look at this. This is a screenshot of the overall administrator. And this can be anybody that's user, site administrator, district administrator. We can set them as the overall person. They can see manage bulk requests. Manage bulk requests is where you enter like an event, a PD event that's going to earn credit for one or more people. Or if you have a group of staff that over the summer is going to take Friday Institute courses, you know you've got this stack of Friday Institute certificates, you could come out here and put the Friday Institute course and then just add everybody in bulk, like I showed you just a few minutes ago on how to add staff. You can enter your own requests. You can enter requests for other people. So if you've got the stack of certificates, you can enter those one at a time if they're individual certificates. Configure emails. We ask you not to touch. DPI configures the emails. And then approval request administration. This is where you can see overall who has submitted requests. The approver, they're only going to see two links. They're going to see the manage requests and the my request. Now manage request is district limited, so they're only going to see the request submitted in their district, or they can submit their own request. And then the credit requester, when they click on there, and I've cut out all the little warnings. It's at the very top of the page here. But they're going to see my request. They're going to see create new credit request. They're going to see pending, denied request, any that are approved, and then any that are archived. here is the help guide for Transfer Credit Manager. All right, so we're going to jump over to our site again. And here's the Transfer Credit Manager. Remember, we clicked up here. I'm going to stop impersonating this person. Oops. Let's try that again. And see if we can get there. All right, I just wanted to show you what the individuals will be submitting. All these forms are the same on each level that we're going to look at here. So the first one, they're going to just see the My Request, and they have the 3 tabs. If they have any archived requests, they'd show there. If they have any approved requests, they are showing here. So here's some that are approved, and then any that are pending that I have submitted. All right, so they're just going to come out here and create the new credit request. And again, watch for the asterisks. All right, so maybe I attended a PD event, and this one, the description is required. So they must enter a description to let you know what the actual event was, not just the title. The date started and ended. Maybe it was just like a one-day event. And the number of hours, maybe it was a 4-hour course. And then where are they requesting this applied to? So the academic, the general, the leadership, literacy, technology has been discontinued. It still shows on people's transcripts, so it hasn't been totally removed, but they should not enter anything for technology. It should fit under one of these other areas or DLCs. So maybe this was a DLC, and so I want 0.4 DLC credits. I should probably be attaching my certificate. So we're going to just click and attach. Now notice that these are not required. This is going to have to be a local decision because each district is different. So I would watch those and tell your district if you are requiring them to submit the completion, the badge, the certificate, what they earned. Also, some districts do require you to submit approval signatures. And if you want them to do that through NCEES, there's also a place to do that as well. So they would go out there and attach those as well. And then they would submit for credit approval, or if they've changed their mind, they can delete this request. So they can submit it. They can put a note in here. You do not have to fill this note in. And then you can click submit. And now as an individual, I have approved this request. They should be able to view the approvers. If there is none, then this is just going to sit out there in limbo. So this, unless I had an approver, it's not going to be here. However, those of you that want to add yourself, if you get added to this and want to come out here and see if anybody in your locations have submitted requests, you can actually then come in here and edit and add yourself to be the approver so that you can catch up on those submitted requests that people did not know that they didn't have an approver, but they submitted requests. So there is a way to add approvers once it's submitted. All right, so that's the My Request. That's for the individuals to submit their request. The next part is if you are the administrator, you can manage bulk requests. So let's take a quick look at that. This is where I said you could create an event or a PD opportunity that a bunch of people attended or even an individual attended. So you can create a new bulk credit request. And I just wanted to show you that the forms are going to be the same. So it's going to look the same no matter where you're at. All right, and then again, you must have a description, the date that the event started, and the date that it completed. The number of hours. This, you don't really have to fill this in because you down here below, you are going to put the actual number of credits in. So you can put them here. I think I said it was a 3-hour course. And you can actually divide up credits as well if you want them in different areas. So maybe they earn point 1 of leadership, point 2 of general. So that can be done. Although this right here is not going to award. This is just what they're asking for. But since this is the bulk event, I would almost skip over this. You're probably not going to need to attach any files unless there's some kind of documentation you want attached to this record. This is where, since this is a bulk event, now I do want to say, yes, I want this to apply 0.2 credits to general and 0.1 to leadership, and apply the credits. I don't have a note to submit, so I'm just going to submit that. And now I have my bulk event. The next tab over is your recipients. And this is just the same thing that we saw a while ago where you add an individual or you add recipients advanced. And again, you've got your 10-digit UID for employee ID or username, or use your email addresses. What kind of list are you going to copy and paste or type in here? Is it going to be the new line, which is what I did a while ago? I put one email, hit return, put another email. That's going to be a new line entry. Are they going to be comma separated or tab separated, or a different kind of separator? Once you got your list in here, you're going to click preview and then scroll down, and it will show you people in pink that they can't find. So you would come back up here and correct those or remove those until you can fix them. All right, so let's put Audrey in here. All right, and let's see if we can find her. And it did, so we're going to click done, and we're going to add recipients. And now we have Audrey in there, and she's been awarded her credit, just like that. So that's a quick way to manage your bulk requests. Any questions about that? All right, we've got maybe about 10 minutes. All right, so the next one down here that the administrators can do is enter a credit request for another user. So let's try. See if it finds them. Yep, so watch, I had to wait a minute for it to find the person. And then I can click on them. It checks the box that yes, we've selected somebody, and we're going to create it. All right, and again, we're not going to go through the whole thing again, but you can put in the title, the description, the dates. You do want to put in what they want to be approved, and attach any certificates if they've turned those in digitally, and then submit for credit approval. So if I've been assigned, that's for the administrators. If I've been assigned to be an approver, I'm going to see this manage requests. So let's click on manage requests. I don't have any new ones out here. So let's just look at some of these are completed. Once you see the green thumbs up, it means it's been approved. So we can look at these again. And I can actually return this to pending just to show you. So, and I could put a note in here because somebody's going to get an email that this was returned to pending, and submit that. And now it's been returned to pending. So up here, you'll read through your list, all the different information that they put in. And you would see that they want 0.2 DLCs right here. And then you would come down and decide, is that what they should get? Then you would just click the box and put 0.2. and approve it. Or you would say, please look at this again and deny it, and put the reason for denial. And you would submit that. And now it's denied. And then they would go in and resubmit it for approval. So now I see I have a red thumbs down. All right, and then the final place that some of you might see if you're an administrator is the approval request administration. Just want to show you this one does show the whole state. It may not load up for me. Oh, that was pretty quick. But you can see a lot of these are in progress. Some have been approved. Again, you can add filters. So if you do not have the DA or site role, but you need to be an approver, we could add you as the administrator, and then you would come here and search for the requesters that you know have submitted. Some districts have a Google Doc that they have the people say, I've submitted a request in NCEES, and then they would come out here and search for their name and add themselves as the approver on the request. So that is where you would then come out here and add yourself as an approver under the edit. And now this person has an approver, and this here can be approved. And approve or deny. All right, so that was fairly quick for Transfer Credit Manager and what it can be used for. Does anybody have any questions or any ideas or things that you want to do, see in Transfer Credit Manager that we might have missed? Oh, and I saw Janelle had to leave. All right, so let me come back to the slides real quick because it is about time to wrap things up. All right, and I will put this link in the chat. This is the link to get your certificate for attending today. We do ask that you complete our feedback, and the last two questions will ask you if you want a certificate for attending today. Please fill out your name and your email address, and that certificate will come in your email, and it's usually within 5 to 15 minutes. And then you can print out your email and turn that into your district for approval. So we do not approve, but we do offer the credits, and you can turn those in when you get that email. Just a few resources while y'all are looking at that and doing that. We do have a new NCEES resource site. Please go out there and make sure you bookmark this, the Google site. If you've got that bookmarked, it is going away. So everything is now out here in the NCEES resources site. And we do have for administrators out here, although other folks can come out here and look as well, a resource hub in Canvas. This other site is free and public. This site, you must have an active account in NCEES. That also gives you an active account in DPI's Canvas to access the resources here. If you are in NCEES and can't get to this site, just email me and I will make sure you have the DPI Canvas site as well. Our upcoming webinars, middle of year is coming up. So we're going to be talking about that next Tuesday, October 18th, the middle of year process for principals, and then the following Tuesday for teachers and staff. In November, we're going to be reviewing a lot of reporting capabilities. So those are there for you to just click on the titles and register for those. Then we always have our YouTube. This is where all our videos, recordings are posted. And our contacts out here as well. There's mine and Jennifer's for NCEES. I answer the system questions and Jennifer answers any policy questions in NCEES. And again, here's my contact. And if you do want to set an office half hour with me, use this link here. If you can't find a good time on my office hours link, just email me here and I will make sure we find the time to meet. All right, I am not seeing any questions coming in. Audrey, did you see any questions? Okay, I think I heard you over
No,
there.
I don't see any.
Okay.
I had to
Thank you,
unmute
Audrey.
myself.
Uh-huh. All right, so we have recorded and we'll get this posted hopefully by Friday, and so everybody else can see it as well. I do want to thank you guys for taking time to come out. Thank you, Jennifer and Audrey, for hanging out and monitoring questions with me.
You're welcome.
All right.
Miss Camilla,
Yes.
I think I sent you something in the chat.
Okay.
I was wondering if you could give me your email. The last session I attended, you said you could possibly work with me on cleaning up old names that we have in our NCEES.
Oh, sure. Sure. Yep. Yep. And do you have the link to our slides here? But I'm putting my email right here.
Yeah,
I see it on the
for
screen.
Diane, yeah,
All
I
right.
sent her the slides. This is
Okay,
Audrey. I
good.
sent her the slide deck
All right.
and the other link that you had as well.
Okay, thank you. And Diane, I did just put my email in the chat as well. And yes, we'll definitely
Thank
help
you
you with
very
that.
much.
Okay, you're very welcome. All right, if no other questions, we will stop recording and end our session. So you guys have a great evening, and thank you.
You too.
Thank you
Bye-bye.
very much.